return of a familiar story with the Tamil Nadu governor versus the Tamil Nadu government, the DMK, that war escalating, the governor refusing to read parts of a speech that were prepared by the state government yet again. We say yet again because this took place in the beginning of January this year itself, where you'll remember the first assembly session got off to a very rocky start after the governor decided to pick and choose words from the approved text. He didn't say the entire approved text. Right now the governor is saying about the address that he was just given that this address has numerous passages which I convincingly disagree on. He doesn't find them essentially factually correct. He's also said he disagrees with them on moral grounds. But remember, this opposition state versus governor battle is one that we've seen play out in multiple different states. We'll play out for you what it is that the governor had to say specifically. Then we'll also connect with reporters to understand more. But once again, the return of a familiar chapter in Tamil Nadu. Take a look.
This address has numerous passages with which I convincingly disagree on factual and moral grounds. I lending my voice to them would constitute constitutional travesty. Hence, with respect to the House, I conclude my address. Wish this House a productive and healthy discussion for the good of the people. Valga Tamil Nadu, Valga Bharatam. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Nandri.
Okay, remember, we've seen cases like this, opposition rule states versus the governor, playing out in various different states. So, for example, we've seen something very, very similar play out in Telangana, where the BRS government used to accuse the governor, Tamilisai Sundararajan. You've also had something similar play out in Punjab, in West Bengal, in Delhi, although, of course, there isn't a governor. But you've had similar stories play out in multiple opposition rule states. But the story in Tamil Nadu is one that has been a particularly sticky one. The story we told you about a little earlier was back in January, where the governor said that he wasn't, you had paragraph 65 of the speech that the governor skipped altogether and he didn't read parts of it. We have our colleague Purnima who's with us right now to tell us about this most recent incident taking place a little more than a month later. Purnima, first tell us, we just heard what the governor had to say in his address to the media, but tell our audiences a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes with the governor coming out once again and saying exactly this, something very similar to what he said in early January.
Absolutely. In early January last year, again when the assembly session began, the governor in fact completed his speech, but the DMK then said that, especially Chief Minister then said that the speech prepared by the state government was not said by the governor. There were words and statements that the governor had decided not to say in the assembly and added some which were not part of the speech prepared or the address prepared by the state government. This time around, as the governor began his speech, in fact he thanked all of them and then said that his request for the national anthem to be played at the beginning and the end of the session, that in fact was not considered, and also said that there are certain statements which in fact he had to read today. Those are something that he does not believe in, and therefore he does not want to read out the speech prepared by the state government. The DMK MLAs, while the governor said this, in fact there was some drama and ruckus inside. The DMK MLA said that it's unfair. We heard some DMK MLAs opposing this speech by the governor, but politics escalates as the war of words between Governor R.N. Ravi and the Tamil Nadu government is only escalating. The governor decided not to read the address prepared by the state government, says that he does not believe in some of the statements and therefore he does not want to read it. With that, he ended his speech. In less than 2 minutes, the governor finished his speech, did not read the address prepared by the state government. Politics only going to escalate. We'll have to see what the Tamil Nadu government will now do, whether they will pass a resolution against the governor. All those will be known in the next couple of minutes. But for now, war of words between governor and government yet again escalating. The last time again the same thing happened where the governor had omitted certain parts. This time around the governor decided not to read the address prepared by the state government. Can
you tell our audiences, Purnima, as we were saying earlier, situations like this, opposition states and governors, this has played out in a few different states. But in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala and in West Bengal, it's been particularly hot, the kind of confrontation there is between the governor and the state. Has the DMK behind the scenes come to some kind of agreement as to how they want to go forward with this relationship over the next few months?
Well, in Tamil Nadu as well, the war of words between the governor and the government has only escalated. The government time and again calling for the recalling of the governor, saying that the governor is acting against the interests of the people. There were several bills that were pending before the governor. The case is now currently being heard in the apex court, and not all is well between the governor and the government. There are many instances where they've exchanged arguments. In fact, the Tamil Nadu government has time and again said that governor is not acting in the interests of the people of Tamil Nadu. Today again we saw how politics unfolded. We saw some hangama of sorts inside the state assembly where the governor in fact said that he will not read out the address written by the state government. This is something that happened in Jan last year as well. But this is not something new. Tamil Nadu government time and again saying that the governor is the DMK alleging that governor is acting more like an RSS agent, and in, not just in Tamil Nadu, in other states where the opposition is ruling, the governors are always acting against the interests of the people.
Can I just ask you to stay with us? A. Saravanan from the DMK, who's with us, has just called in. We'll go over to him to understand more. Sir, for your party and for Tamil Nadu, this is a story we've seen play out time and time again. As our reporter is telling us, this incident has taken place. A version of this took place last year in January. But even in between, we've seen different versions of this. How is the DMK, sir, reacting to what the governors just told the media, which is that he morally disagreed with parts of the speech?
See, the governor is a perpetual pain in the neck for the Tamil Nadu entire state. He is not doing his duty. Several times we have pointed out how he is acting beyond the constitution, beyond his powers and scope. And the Supreme Court has pulled him up, so he is trying to rectify whatever mistakes he has done after the intervention of the Supreme Court. But what he is doing now is despicable. He is not supposed to do all these things. He is a nominated member, and he is a rubber stamp in the constitutional scheme of things. He has to remember that. And the BJP wants to ensure that there is a breakdown in the state of Tamil Nadu. That is why they are employing the office of the governor.
Okay.
He has to act within the constitutional parameters, which he is not.
Mr. Saravanan, can I ask you to stay with us for a second? We have the BJP's Narayan Tirupati also. I want to ask him, Mr. Tirupati, this back and forth, we've not just seen play out in Tamil Nadu, we've seen it in multiple different states, which is why it makes it hard to say that it is the opposition state government. This is a story, sir, where we've even had the Supreme Court come down, particularly on the Tamil Nadu governor, R.N. Ravi, in the past, when he's delayed the assent to different bills. Sir, what do you have to say to this?
See, the governor was very clear in stating and saying that the national anthem and the Tamil Tagai has not been sung in spite of his repeated advice. Is that not, wrong on the part of the government? Number two, there is a provision that the governor has got each and every right to deny, to read certain things which is not acceptable, which is not practical, and which is not morally right. So he has very clearly mentioned it, and he said, simple. He has acted according to what the law says.
Let's just go over to A. Saravanan from the DMK. Sir, that one aspect that the BJP is mentioning, not standing for the national anthem, not playing it out correctly, this is something that our reports are also indicated. According to the DMK, exactly what happened in the assembly?
See, in the state of Tamil Nadu, when we are conducting the assembly process, first the state anthem is played, then at the end of the ceremony, end of everything, the national anthem is played. This is what we have been following in the state of Tamil Nadu. Who is he? Who is this governor? Is he an expert? He is expert at misquoting things. He is an expert at violating the constitution. So why should we listen to him? Who is he? He is after all getting paid by the taxpayer.